As Ric Flair, as Ric Flair would say, "Woo! What a game! What a game!" I'm still on the come down. I'm so out of it. I had to do the intro twice because I accidentally turned my mic off. That's just every time I'm running on vibes. I feel like I'm shaking as the Blazers take the Phoenix Suns to overtime and get the 121 to 119 victory. Welcome into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. I joked with Brenden a second ago that we should change the name of this show to the sixth quarter after an overtime game because holy smokes, that game went nice and long. That might have been the longest overtime in the history of man. Oh, wow. But you know what? The Blazers, credit, clap, clap, clap. What a flipping game. What a flipping game. 121 to 19 victory. The starters, they showed up and they showed out. The bench, they only went three deep. Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, Donovan Clingan, but they played very, very well in their minutes. I know some people have been texting me nonstop, upset about the guards, the young core there. Scoot and Shea not playing a lot, but down the stretch in a game like this, it doesn't upset me in the least. Also, they're going to get their minutes tomorrow. It's the second night of a back-to-back, right? But here's the thing, man. I cannot get on board with being upset about minutes distribution at this point. Now, earlier in the year, you guys know it. I wanted to see Clingan out there messing up. I wanted to see the guys getting their run, but they were also in a spot where the games were terrible. Where I'm sitting there, if the team's losing by 40, just let them go. Let the young guys go. But all of a sudden, as I've said before, the switch has been flipped, and the Blazers have now suddenly won 8 out of 9 games, and things are good. The vibes are good. People are enjoying the fact that they're winning. So I'm going to take the win in this case and not be so upset that Scoot Henderson only played 23 minutes and Shaden Sharp only played 19. They did what they needed to do in those minutes. I don't think it necessarily came at the, downfall of their progression or what have you. I thought they still played good, and they learn from games like this. Again, you can observe a lot by watching, and in this case, I think the young guys saw what a team does down the stretch to win ball games, man. And I know everyone's looking at DeAndre Ayton. Well, as he told Brooke after the game, he loves it here, right? He loves it here. And, maybe his future is here at center. And I will gladly keep him here in Portland if he continues to play like this. A 20-20 game in this one, 25 points, 20 rebounds. He's been absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. This whole entire stretch, he's been good. And you got to give him credit for that. So, again, I'm not upset about minutes distribution in this one. What I do like is the W and the fact that they are continuing to roll. I mean, taking the Suns to task, beating them 2 games in a row, that's no small potatoes, man. And if the Blazers would have lost this game, we would have had a very similar conversation because we would have been just like the Oklahoma City game. You took a very, very good Suns team and you took them to the wire. You took them to the wire, and you got to absolutely enjoy that. It's something I told you guys. Like, if the team's turning the corner and all of a sudden they're winning, I mean, Coach laughed today, like, you know what, like, because I think Jason Quick asked him about, people are joking about the play-in. Is that something you're focused on now? And he's like, well, we're just enjoying the moment, and if it happens, it happens, basically. And if it happens, it happens. But right now, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. How can you not enjoy going in there and just watching the Blazers play a well-rounded, great basketball game and get the dub? And the young guys still look good. They still look good. Scoot still looked good. Sharp still looked good. Tumani looked absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. AJ Styles is not the phenomenal one anymore. Tumani Kamara is the phenomenal one. Denny Avdia looked great until he fouled out, but, I mean, the effort was there. Another solid game. 24 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. I loved it. Again, we can talk about minutes distribution and be mad about that at a later date. Right now, I just don't think that's it. The vibes are good. Blazers are playing great. And Coach talked about it after the game, too, about the chemistry and the camaraderie that this team has built as of late. How he talked about how they played their tails off on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the entire team was down at Chiles Center to watch Dwap Reith hit a game winner. And he's like, before that shot even fell in, all my guys were on the bench, or on the court, celebrating. Like, that's how excited we were. And that speaks to the chemistry and the camaraderie they're building. the attitude, the holding each other accountable, the things we've talked about in the pre-games. They're doing it right now. They're doing it. The team looks great. I said it that maybe they meet the Suns and this run comes to a screeching halt. That's just not the case right now. That's not the case right now. They're rolling. I think some point we just got to enjoy that, because this getting caught up in the minutes that Scoot played or didn't play, don't lose sight of the fact that this is easily the best stretch of games that we've had in years as fans, as reporters, as a team. It's so enjoyable. It's so enjoyable. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Or, of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and get in on the chat there as well. Taking a look at how this game came about. I mean, the Blazers opened up 10-2 to start the game. Suns call an early timeout. 9 minutes left on the clock. They call a timeout because it's already a 14-5 ball game. And it's like, oh, man, like okay, but then the Suns answer back, and they go on a run at the end of the first quarter, and it's 31-31. 11-3 to end the quarter. Okay, here we go. What's going on? Grayson Allen hits a three. Suns take a timeout early in the first quarter. They have the lead 40-36. Oh, no. Then they outscore the Blazers 24-18 in the quarter. They lead 55-49 at halftime. Denny Avdia had 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in the half. Ayton had 12 points, 3 rebounds. But then what are you going to do in the second half? You go back and forth, and then about that last minute of the third quarter, it ended Toumani Camara 3, Toumani Camara 3, Anthony Simons 3. Blazers lead 86-80 going into the fourth. Of course, and then the fourth happened, man, and that was wild. You go back, you go fourth, you get to overtime. In overtime, DA's getting rebounds, hitting free throws. Denny Avdia fouls out after fouling Devin Booker in the corner. Devin Booker goes to the line for 3 free throws to tie it, hits the front 2, misses the last one. Ayton gets the rebound. I mean, unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff as the Blazers gut this one out. And there's so much to like about this game, quite honestly. So much to like. Again, if we want to be upset about the minutes distribution, I completely feel like that is another game. I feel like that is another day. It's just, man, tonight I enjoy the moment. I enjoy the way the team's playing together. I love that the guys are taking their minutes and running with it. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. Let's head out to the radio, or to the phone right now. We're on the radio right now. Let's head out to my guy Kieran. Kieran, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to you in a while, bud, but you've got to be excited after this one.
Yes, I am very excited after this one. Yes, I'm really happy that they got the win tonight. Yes. Yeah.
What's your favorite part right now in this stretch where they've won 8 of their last 9?
Yeah, I'm just very excited that they've won the last 8. Yeah, yeah. Yes, and go Blazers. Yes.
Go Blazers, Kieran.
I'm just really excited about tonight's game. I'm really excited that they won tonight too. So yeah.
Well, hey,
I thought it was a great game tonight.
It was a great game. What'd you think about DeAndre Ayton going out there and getting 24 points, 20 rebounds, man?
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with that too. Yes.
Yes, he was absolutely impressive. Well, Kieran, thanks for the call as always. I always say I love Kieran's calls because that guy's always happy. He's got to be on cloud 9. He was almost a little speechless, a little speechless. Let's head out to this Carmine in Southeast. Welcome into the fifth quarter.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Great day to be a Blazer.
Absolutely.
How y'all doing over there?
Well, we're doing good after a game like this.
Well, I'm going to count myself as a confused fan, but an excited fan. I'm a diehard, born in Rip City. I will die in Rip City. And this little stretch, I mean, I guess I would say my main takeaway is the defensive effort, and we are suddenly a kind of a young, long, tall defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
And that is equals victories right now.
It does.
And let's run with it. finally I have something to watch where I am not throwing things at the wall or saying, the tank is over. It's been a while since I've called and love to Rip City and everyone. Where's Chaz? I don't know even who you are.
Well, hey, Carmine, I'm Chris Burkhardt. I'm the host of the fifth quarter now because Chad got moved. He's doing the pregame and the postgame and the game with Travis. Man, he's on during the entire broadcast. He's living it up.
Oh dang! Okay, that's my guy Chaz.
Well, that's my guy too. To be fair,
nice,
he just walked by me a few minutes ago. He might even come put a headset back on. You never know.
Well, say what's up to Chaz from Carmine.
Will do.
I didn't call for a while because I had nothing to call about. I can't call and be like, this is a terrible team. Now, I think something's going on here. I don't know the momentum, but I'm okay with it. Everyone says, like, oh, tank for the draft pick. I'm saying, let's ride this. Let's see what happens. Chance obviously wants to win. So I don't know what between the ownership and Cronin and what they wanted to do with the tank, that's what everyone thought. You can't win 9 out of 10 games or whatever it is, 8 out of 9, and feeling, oh, they look pretty good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Carmine, and thank you for the call. But that's what I've been saying, right? Ride this bad boy. Ride this bad boy. It feels good, and I'm glad you called in. I hope you have more reasons to call in the future so that we get to know each other, so I'm not just a stranger to you. There's Chad over there. He's down the hallway. I'll tell him you said hi when he gets here. But then you guys listen to the whole game. Listen to the pregame show. You listen to me on game day, then you listen to the pregame show. You get Chad. You get the best of both worlds, my friend. But you talked about defense for a second. I want to bring that up because I thought today guys that we've dogged for a very long time for their poor defense, I thought actually played pretty good defensive games. I thought Anthony Simons was very good considering that he got manned up on Kevin Durant quite a bit and was giving up that size and that, just that length and everything. And he tried his best. Like, he did not give up on that side of the ball. And I appreciated that from him because he's a guy that we very easily dogged for his defense at times. I thought he played good. Can't say he played great, but I thought he played good. And that's an upgrade for him at times. Tumani Kamara was phenomenal. Denny was great. Jeremy was good. DA was all over the place. Like, you can't be too bad. So I'm with you, man. Ride the wave. You'd be like a surfer. You're out there. Don't just sit there and wait all day for what you think might be the perfect breaker, man. Just take it and ride it, baby. Ride it. That's what the Blazers are doing right now. That's why I'm not upset and I'm not about who played what minutes and did Scoot go here and Shea go. Enjoy the moment, man. 8 of 9's incredible. And it gives people like you a reason to call in and talk, and I appreciate that. Absolutely appreciate that. I also want to point out real quick, one of my favorite moments in this game was something Tumani Kamara did, right? He was getting into everybody's grill a little bit, and he was really going at it with Grayson Allen. And at one point, Grayson Allen comes down, and Kamara's doing the thing like a defender does, kind of has his arms out on the guy he's defending. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Grayson Allen, though. Grayson Allen goes by him. Grayson Allen grabs Kamani's arm on his chest and just kind of throws it off to the side, very aggressively, by the way. And he had the grumpiest look, he being Grayson Allen, the grumpiest look, like, get out of my way, kid, right? And I will kid you not, Tumani Kamara just looks at him, looks back up to the guy he's defending, and he had the biggest grin on his face. And as I tweeted out, he is playing the mental game, and he is winning it right now. He was under Grayson Allen's skin, and that is exactly the way Tumani Kamara likes to play. Oh, my gosh, I loved it. It's just those little things, man. And for everyone upset, again, that Scoot only played 20 minutes and so did Shea, that's going to balance out tomorrow. You can remember, this is second of the back-to-back. They could have gone light today and everyone's rested tomorrow. I have a feeling you're going to see big minutes out of some guys that didn't play a ton tonight. They're going to need it. They're absolutely going to need it. Man, but again, I love this game. I love what the Blazers did tonight. I love the effort defensively. I love Tumani Kamara's masterful chess game. I enjoy it all, man, and I'm just trying to convey that to you. Don't get lost in the moment. Enjoy this. This is an incredible run. It's been the best 9-game stretch you've experienced as a Blazer fan in a few years. So, yeah, enjoy it. This is the fifth quarter. Boom, there we go. And this is Chris Burkhardt. If you want to follow me on social, Chris J. Burkhardt is the name. You can also go to youtube.com, type in the chat over there. And, of course, 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. We're going to take a quick break, though. When we come back, it's time for our drive of the night and our shot of the night. And I hear Brenden might have some lulls, some laugh-out-loud moments drummed up for that one. We still got Coach's Corner and Game Balls to get to, too. And once again, that phone number, 503-248-0620. This is the fifth quarter presented by Coors Light on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620. There. All right, see, you guys let me just sit on this game day image this whole time over here on YouTube. Now we're on the fifth quarter. Now we're on the full shot. Look at that. We can have some fun. Let's talk to you guys for a few minutes. So we have some time here as we are on break on the radio side of things. The YouTube chat popping off. Jake Moe, show me your Blazer. What an exciting game. Absolutely it was. Taking Care of Phoenix to the tune. Ryan, I don't know that song. I obviously know Taking Care of Business, and they used to play that one in the arena when they won. Now it's Victorious by Panic at the Disco. If you guys are listening on radio, you heard that's what Brenden played on the way out was Taking Care of Business. But I don't remember Taking Care of Phoenix. That's funny. We need to find that. Does it live somewhere? Who recorded it? I want to know. Kobe, are you talking about the an incident with Grayson? Because if you saw one with Denny, then it obviously happened twice. Because I'm not making it up. It was 100% Tumani Kamara. I wrote it down because it's in my notes. So yeah, it might have happened twice. He was trying to get under a few people's skin. Grayson Allen was. And Tumani was he was all over there. He was all over there. So Ryan says early 90s when that came out. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to write it in my notes too. Taking Care of Phoenix. Taking Care of Phoenix. Ant gets hunted on offense. Are you saying, clarify, are you saying like, as in, when he's on defense, the offensive team hunts for him to get his matchup? If that's what you're trying to say, Chris, yeah, no, they absolutely do. Which is why I felt like I felt like he deserves some credit tonight because I thought, all things considered, his defense against Kevin Durant was not terrible. It was not great, but we have seen bad defensive performances out of Anthony Simons. I don't think today was one of them. Sometimes you sit there, as Pedro Martinez says, all you can do is tip your hat and call the Yankees your daddies, right? Right? Because sometimes I just like Durant was just hitting that mid range. It's like sometimes he's just impossible. It's just impossible. Yeah, posting up on Ant was a little bad, and like I said, that was just the way the defense switched. And obviously, I don't think that's a matchup they wanted. Air Weldon, sorry, as I bend down there, but again, when he got matched up on, I thought he did admirably well. Again, it wasn't perfect by any means, but considering the bad defensive games we've seen from Ant, I did like what I saw. I like the effort, man. The big E word, effort, I think matters sometimes, so I'm glad we saw a little bit of it. No, they're not, Timmy. No, they're not.
Just jumped and almost screamed like a little girl when the custodian scared me. First person I've seen in like 6 hours.
Well, Brenden, you're not alone because it always gets me too, but then they always laugh because like, oh, I'm sorry, and they jump too because it scares them because someone's in the room. So
I'm like, oh, look, someone's here.
Yeah, that's funny. But anyway, no, Timmy, you're absolutely wrong. Three nights in October prove that the curse was broke. Yankees are America's baseball team. You get out of here. I got the power to ban people. I'm going to ban you from the chat. You keep talking like that. How much longer we got, Brenden? Perfect. Boo Yankees. Yeah, that's what my daughter says, and she says boo Red Sox when she's trying to get under my skin, though. Sean, extend Chauncey now that the team is showing growth. I don't know about that. But I would say enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. All right, YouTube. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, there you hear the shot of the night. I told you Brenden had jokes. The shot of the night being Devin Booker's missed free throw. So,
Ball, man. Almost, dare I say, hitting it off the tee, Chris.
yes, dare you say, absolutely softball. Chad doing here with me. Hey, Carmine in Southeast says hi. He said he's glad they're winning because it gave him a reason to call in because he hasn't had a reason to call in a while. But he goes, I don't even know who you are. It's been so long since I called in.
That's great, man. Carmine, what's up, brother?
Oh, my gosh. What a game, though, Chad. I'm sitting here talking with the chat. I've had plenty of people texting me upset that Scoot only played 20 minutes and Shea only played 20 minutes. But I kind of heard you and Travis talking about it there in the postgame show. I still think this is a game where it didn't hurt them that they didn't play a lot. They still played well. And I think at this point, too, when you're riding high and you're about to win your 8th game in 9 games and take 2 from the Suns, you just ride that wave, man.
Yeah, and Coach Billups is coaching to win basketball games right now. What I do like is, Scoot Henderson, very underrated night tonight, 15 points, 6 assists. But his defense and what he continues to do on that end of the floor and the emergence we've seen defensively from Scoot over the last 4 weeks has been terrific. I thought Shaden was effective in the minutes that he played tonight, and then we got great play once again from Denny Avdia and Tamani Kamara. The last few games, I think Klingon struggled more with positioning and foul trouble, but what we're seeing right now with the Trailblazers that I think is beautiful, regardless of the minute distribution with some of the veterans who got a chance to play, is we're seeing now where the young players are improving individually, but now when you combine them with the veterans, we're seeing execution on both ends, meaning the young guys and the vets have learned how to play together. They understand what the coaches want them to do, and now we're seeing execution on both ends. But I thought the defense, once again tonight, especially late, the contest, the way they were able to work against Durant, I thought the offensive rebounding in that overtime period was critical. The team is playing basketball the right way, and I think that's why Chauncey Billups sounded so happy after the game tonight, is because his team is winning, but they're winning the right way. And I think what Tamani Kamara said to Travis after the game is that what they're doing right now is not a fluke. It's not some type of miracle run because some player's on fire. You have multiple guys stepping up to make contributions, and with that, we're seeing an effective form of basketball right now. But most importantly, the biggest thing you got to remember, 5 guys, Scoot, Shaden, Klingon, Tamani, and Denny, who are all showing improvement. and you know that those are going to be your building blocks moving into the future. So I think as Trailblazer fans, you celebrate it because the whole idea is you acquire young talent, you coach them, you develop them, and if they emerge and go on a tear and win 8 out of 9 like they're doing right now, that's something that you can celebrate because that's the whole goal behind bringing in young talent like they've done.
It absolutely is the whole goal, and I look at this game too, and I think that Joe Cronin might be having a little bit of a harder job moving forward, man, because full disclosure, I've been very, very critical of DeAndre Ayton all year long, and he's had some ups and he's had some downs, but over the last week or so, I'm watching him play like a guy that I'm like, I don't know if I want him to leave, man. He's playing so well.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part about Ayton. When I ask people, because he had that stretch last year, really the second half of last season where he was terrific, and so I started asking people around the league that cover the league and talk to different people. I'm like, what's the word on DeAndre Ayton? And the word, if you ask enough people, the word on DeAndre Ayton is, okay, when he's the number one option and he's getting touches and he's engaged, can be terrific like we saw tonight. But the question is, in those moments where he's not the number one option and he's not getting the touches, can he remain engaged at the level that you need him to be a productive basketball player? That continues to be the question on Ayton. But when he plays like this, he's one of the best bigs in the game.
Yeah.
He really is. In the last, not just tonight, but he carried him. He had 24.7 boards in the win a couple of nights ago, and tonight he was the meal ticket with the 2020 game. So I like DeAndre Ayton, and when he's playing like this, he's fabulous.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting, too, because I think he's noted it, as has Scoot. They have pretty good chemistry together, those two. So we'll see what happens. Trade deadline, by the time we wake up tomorrow, going to be 2 days away. So at this point, just enjoy it, because this might not be the same Blazer team moving forward. But right now, you and I, you've been doing this on radio far longer than I have. We've both been around this team for a decade or longer. I mean, it was a long stretch of having, a lot of losing without feeling anything like you felt over the last 9 games, which is why I'm very big right now on be critical later and just ride this wave at the moment because it's fun, man.
It's the most it's the most I've enjoyed this team in multiple seasons, and it's because of the youth, the development of the young guys. I was concerned about Scoot like everyone else last year and at the beginning of this year, but he's turning a corner. Shaden Sharp has shown flashes. But Avdia and Kamara have been fabulous. I mean, their defense and their tenaciousness in the way they play. So, yeah, I'm thrilled. I haven't been this excited about the team in a long time, and it has to do with the youth and the way that those guys are coming along and competing on both ends of the floor.
Hey, Han in King City in the chat says, nice to see Chad here. We miss you.
What's up, Han? What's up, brother?
Hey, I want to get your take real quick, though, on Tumani, which you just mentioned. The other day I was talking about Jason Quick's article, which was fabulous, and I said you need to go read it, which you did, and then you were talking about it on Rip City Drive. So I want to know, did you pay attention tonight with him and Grayson Allen?
I did.
There was that moment where Grayson Allen comes by and just takes his arm and just flings his arm just very honorably, and Tumani Kamara just smiled.
Yeah.
And it made me think of that article, like playing the mental game. He knew at that moment that he was in Grayson Allen's head and the game was his.
Well, what I didn't know about Tumani until I read the piece from Quick, I knew that he liked to defend and he liked to get under people's skin. But what I didn't realize was how much of a junk talker he can be at times, right? Where I think it was Tyrese Maxey, when he rolled up to him before the game, said, hey, are you going to be able to play if I'm guarding you for a full 48, full-length court? And Maxey's like, who is this guy? But he wants to get into it with guys, and he understands that most people in the NBA that play on a regular basis, they're not used to that type of defense up in their face throughout the course of an entire game. And watching Tumani tonight battle against guys like Devin Booker, get into it with Grayson Allen, what he brings to that floor, to that end of the floor every night is awesome. And I think he's a perfect extension of Coach Billups. But I'm telling you, when you have guys like Tumani and Denny on the floor, in practice, they bring real atmosphere because they constantly compete. And in games, when they're out there sacrificing the way that they do, their teammates will see that and realize that they got to up their game. And I think that's why we're seeing, better play since he got benched by Shaden Sharp, and then the improvement defensively from Scoot Henderson, who I think has been really good at pressuring the ball the last couple of games, creating turnovers. I think going into tonight, they had 53 points off turnovers in their previous 2 games. But the ball pressure, which leads to turnovers, which leads to easier buckets where they can get out and showcase some of that athleticism.
Yeah, absolutely. And when feeding off players, man, that's undervalued because I think you do it in any workplace. I've said for the longest time, I don't like when I work with lazy people because then I can have a tendency to fall into that trap too. But when I work with people who work their tail off, I tend to work my tail off even more because it's just you feed off of it, and I like
question.
being around that.
Yeah, no, I feel that when I'm with you and with others, and I like that sensation. But that's what I get from the Trailblazers right now. They're a young and very hungry squad, and they're playing like that right now, and they're giving us glimpses of what their just a fraction of what their potential can be when they're engaged and communicating and playing well together. So it's fun to watch young guys develop. I've never been through this process with the Trailblazers before where you have such a young group of guys over the course of an extended period of time where you have a chance to watch them and pay attention to the development. And now we're seeing it right before our very eyes, even from the beginning of this year. Keep in mind, early in the season, they had a team meeting after they got whacked by Memphis here at home. And now look at them here. They 8 of 9 and playing very well, but more importantly, getting it done defensively, which is not something we've been able to say a lot over the last several years here in Portland.
Well, not only that, Chad, it's like the way things have changed for them because you go back to like that Memphis game, which I'll never forget because that's the first time in my entire time covering this team I watched people walk out of the arena saying this was embarrassing, right, to be a Blazer fan. And you go back to that moment and you just see how the team carried themselves on the floor, regardless of the win and loss and how they've won 8 of their last 9. The team you're watching on the floor looks different than the team you saw in those games, and that's why I think these games are competitive, and they've won a few of them.
Yeah,
so.
heck, I even thought Ant was competing pretty hard on defense tonight.
I was saying that earlier, how he gets knocked a lot. I thought, all things considered, especially the fact that he was getting manned up on KD tonight a lot, he didn't play a terrible defensive game. He didn't lack effort on that end, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what we just talked about, where you have guys out there sacrificing night in and night out, guys like Kamara and Avdia, and they demand that their teammates join in on the work they're putting in defensively. And so that's the impact we saw with Simons tonight. Really respected the way that he competed. Didn't have a great offensive night, but he was competing and pouring that type of energy into the game, which was great.
Absolutely was. You want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. YouTube.com. There's another way to get in on the chat as well, where everyone's there holding it down. But we'll go out to Victor. How's Victor feeling after this one?
Oh my God, I'm exonerated. I'm flabbergasted. I tell you, man, I don't know what to say. I have an old culture. I remember, Chris, one time I asked you a couple of years ago. I said, "What is your background?" You said maybe you're from Hawaii or somewhere from Hawaii or Islander.
Yep.
The old culture where you have about the old culture. Those Islander and also Samoa. Samoa is another group in Ireland. Those groups, they believe in energy. The energy. It's very hard. I cannot explain on the phone, but it's a concept that those old culture believe in. And also the old Indian, they believe in the power of earth, power of water, power of mountain. These are the really important, believe me, 15 seconds, they were tied or something, or maybe Phoenix won ahead or something. I just closed my eyes and I went to the, those kind of, zen. I said, well, what is going to happen? I just felt something inside of me. I said, well, if I open my eyes and look at the score and the Blazer win, then that would make it, that would make my day. That would make me happy. And when I went to that 10-second concentration and opened my eyes, and I saw, the energy, one person, you might say, well, one person doesn't matter, but even one person make a difference because energy, the mind energy, it exists. It really exists.
Well, Victor, thanks for the call. And you're right, it's the mana you're talking about. That's what it is in the island culture. And you got to have good mana. That's what you put off, right? And you don't want the bad mana. You got to have good faith, and you got to bring good energy. And again, the Blazers are doing it tonight. I'm glad he closed his eyes and opened them to a victory, though.
But I see that with the guys. I understand what you're talking about. There is a positive energy, whatever word you want to use for it, with what we're seeing with this group right now and the way they're competing, which is terrific. I thought Jeremy Grant, Coach Billups, praised his defense after the last game, saying he's been doing that throughout the year. I thought he competed well tonight. Tamani Kamara was terrific. Great to see him step up and really be aggressive from downtown. Ayton was the man Avdia was just an animal tonight. He carried them throughout stretches of the game, and then you had Scoot, Shaden, Kling, and others off the bench who made a contribution. But I think part of what we're seeing right now from this group is that energy that Victor's been talking about.
Yeah, the energy's been great, and that matters. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying with, like you said, the Memphis game. The energy there was bad. The spirit, right? As Coach said, didn't leg spirit, the focus. It wasn't there. It's there now, and it's leading to great basketball. Let's head out to Uncle Blazer. He called in last game too. He's probably still riding high. Uncle Blazer, welcome back in.
What's up, Unc?
Hey, I'm back. How are you?
Fabulous.
Yeah, we're great.
Hey, you know what, Chad?
What's that?
It's nice to hear you back.
Well, thank you.
I'm very pleased to see the progression in your career and Chris's. You guys are both deserved it. You've set a high bar for the fifth quarter, but Chris is stepping up.
Well,
That's what it's all about.
So, Chad, my previous moniker was Ramblin' Ben. Do you recall me?
Yes, I do.
So I've rebranded as Uncle Blazer, so I'm not going to ramble anymore. So I was talking to Chris after the last game, and I will start out as appropriate. Show me a Blazer!
Nice work. I like it, Unc.
And you got to make your free throws. And I have a new one for you, Chad.
Uh-oh, a new one.
Uh-oh.
Here it is. Well, you heard this, Chris. Shea Shakalaka.
Shea Shakalaka is a good one. I like that.
I like that. And speaking of making your free throws,
Yeah, I missed the Batum Shakalaka, but So my comments for tonight are, I'm going to keep them short and sweet, a little different each time. There's a follow-up on what I was suggesting the other night, Chris, when we were talking about my idea of putting up in the clubhouse playoffs.
Oh, yeah. They're doing it, I think.
And then you ripped on that, and you're ripping some more. I love your commentary before the game tonight and all that. So I was thinking about that and go, well, maybe there's a better psychological and strategic way that fits with the team. So here's my latest off-the-cuff thought. So the last game before the playoff break, Cronin comes in and says, I don't know what the exact shape, but yeah, hey, guys, I just want you to remind you why you're here. We believe in you. That's why we drafted or traded or whatever for you. And we not just believe that we see the development you're making, positive stuff, but also we expect that of you. And then Chauncey steps up and says, whatever Chauncey says. And then they say, well, let's open up to the floor. So everybody has a chance to say two things in 2 minutes. What are you going to do to get better? And what are you going to do to help the team get better? So it's my latest thought.
Well, I get where you're laying down. You like some good open conversation, and thank you, Uncle Blazer. That takes a lot of time, though. I still like the playoff on the wall with something to focus on. You know what this team's reminding me of, Chad?
What's that?
And, rest in peace to Harry Doyle there. But it's reminding me of Major League when they're in the locker room and, she doesn't think we can win a game. You know what we got to do now? Win the whole bleeping thing.
The playoffs, I mean, numbers-wise, it's probably out of reach, but if they made it, that would be fine. But, I don't want fans to lose sight of, what's really important here. The wins are great. Possibly making a push for the play, and that's fine. But the most important thing that I continue to focus on is just the development of the young players. So regardless of what happens the rest of the way, if those young guys continue to develop, whether you win or lose, then, it's a further sign that this franchise is in good hands moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, tonight's game I don't think came at the detriment to the young guys. Even though they played limited minutes, I don't think it hurt them, which is why I'm not upset by it. I know plenty of fans who are. My phones are blowing up. But I think they're going to be fine. I also think Scoot might play a little bit more than 20 minutes tomorrow because it's the second of the back-to-back, and there's going to be some tired legs. And as Uncle Blazer was talking about making your free throws, and this was a key to the game for me heading in. It was yesterday as well. They only totaled, I think it was something like 22 free throws total in the first two games against Phoenix, and they were both close games. They hit the 30 free throw mark in both of these games, being aggressive, attacking the rim, doing those things that Coach Billups wanted them to do all year long. So, again, win or lose, they're doing a lot of the things that Coach Billups has talked about. And we're going to hear it here when we go to the Coach's Corner in a second, but he talked about it post-game about how all season long when he said he saw things he likes, he said, I was omitting the last 5 minutes of a game when the wheels fell off because they just weren't ready for the moment yet.
Yeah.
I've seen things that I like all year long, and they're really putting it together now.
Yeah, and there were a number of points during the game tonight where if this was earlier in the season, they probably would have fell apart. But what was amazing about the final stretch, Phoenix, had that run where they tied the game with 6:29 left, and the rest of the game was back and forth with 7 lead changes, but yet the Blazers continued to come up with big shots. We saw it from Ayton. We saw it from Ant. A number of guys stepped up. Denny Avdia, Jeremy Grant with the dunk, and yet they didn't fold. And when it went to overtime, they got down early and then made that strong push to get back in it, led by DeAndre Ayton. But you're right. The aggressiveness has been key, and they were in attack mode going at the rim, not just settling for the three-point shot. And when you do that and put the pressure on the other team, the referee is usually going to give you the benefit of the doubt in those situations.
You've seen Captain America movie, right?
No.
No?
I have not.
Oh, my gosh, Chad. You got to get on that. Brenden, you've seen it, right?
You mean every Marvel movie ever made?
Yes. Okay, see, he's on it. I was rewatching it again today for some background noise, and there's the scene in that movie where Steve Rogers getting beat up, and he looks at the guy walloping on him, and he just comes up bloody lip. He's like, I could do this all day. And that's kind of where the Blazers are right now. They're yeah, never give up, man. Because I said earlier in the year it was like jab, 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 knockout blow. Now it's like I can do this all day. So win or lose, you like the fight you're seeing. This is the 6th quarter. We rebanded. It's the 6th quarter after an overtime.
That makes sense.
After an overtime game. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Chad Dewing joining me over here.
Really appreciate the overtime in the first half of a back-to-back too, by the way,
right.
on a Monday.
Not to mention an overtime. One of the longest overtimes I've ever been a part of. Like officials just like there's 13 seconds on the clock. Just let the team inbound. Quit walking over to the bench. What are we doing? But if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And, of course, YouTube.com is another way to get in on the chat as well. We're going to take a quick little break, though. When we come back, we're going to head to the Coach's Corner, hand out a game ball, and then go to bed because we got to do this thing in less than 24 hours as the Pacers come to town. They're at the hotel right now, probably just
They
sleeping.
played tonight too.
Yeah.
They played in Utah, so both teams tomorrow will be on a second of a back-to-back.
Yeah, but they didn't have overtime. They probably got on that charter flight. They're probably checking in and ready to go.
Nappy time.
Nappy time. Again, this is the 5th quarter presented by Coors Light on your home of the Blazers, River City Radio 620. All righty. YouTube. Oh, that's me. I'm tired. Sean says, hey, loving the work you do on the 5th quarter, Chris. Appreciate that. Good to hear Chad on there tonight as well. He's always here. He just needs to come. He can walk up anytime and join the show. He's always welcome. Yeah, he did. I thought Chad did a good job when Holton was out doing some, giving some insight to the game for Travis for a little bit. That's good. Chad walked off, Sean, but I'll make sure he sees that comment, my friend. Chad's going for a quadruple espresso tomorrow. He is a fan of the coffee. I know I am ready for bed, Rosengrad. I apologize. I text old Timmy Hammock earlier and told him, yeah, I'm not playing our game in our franchise tonight. I was gonna try to get home and play it, but I'm just gonna go home and pass out and do this again tomorrow. The 4 overtime game was a 10th quarter. That game was so crazy, Air Weldon. That was so fun. Forever remember Rodney Fresh Legs Hood. You're right, Dennis. It was an awesome game. The 6th quarter. That's right. Thank you. I'll be here. I'll be here all night and tomorrow, Ryan. Plenty more beefy dad jokes where that came from. Oh my gosh. It's a fun night though. Like I said, I was getting in a battle with my buddy Keith of the Trailcasters. He's upset that the young guys, mainly Scoot and Shea, didn't play as much tonight. And you know what? It's totally fair. Like I get it. I get not liking that. Want to see the young guys develop, but at the same time, this win streak matters to me. I think it's good for the team. I think it's good for the mentality. I thought Victor had a good point about the energy, right? You talk about the polyculture, the mana, right? You got to put your positive mana into the world, man. And right now the Blazers are playing with that positive energy. You go back, like Chad said, you go back to the Memphis game, you go back to the Utah game. The energy was off. It was the vibes were bad. They're not bad right now. Like if the Blazers lost this game, nobody's going home irritated. It's like, man, did you see the way the team played tonight? That was great. The energy's good, and that's what you love, man. So keep that one up. Rosengrat says, I don't think Portland moves DA. I think he's the hardest one to move, but, man, if you can find a way to unlock him so he plays like this all the time, I'm fine with him. Keep him here and for another year or so and just let Donovan Clingan slow roll it. I said this before, like if you're trying to go for the playoffs and you're winning, you can afford to slow roll your young guys. If you're going full development, then throw them out there and throw them to the Wolves. Let them eat. But if they're trying to win right now, slow roll it. It's fine. Clingan has some stuff to learn though, because like he had a point today. How he did not get a basket when he got manned up down low on like Bradley Beal or something, and he has no offensive game to go to, so he just couldn't back him down and get a bucket. Missed an easy little flip, and there's stuff he has to learn there for sure. But I love him, and like I'm not saying I want him to not play. I want him to get on the court all the time. I'm just not poo-pooing the fact they won tonight. I'm not going to be upset about that at all. Han, we'll ask Zach in Phoenix. He's on hold, and he's a Suns fan. We'll see if he's crying about that. I know he's upset that they don't have Kamara because he liked him heading into the year last year and was upset that he was part of the deal as a Suns fan. So I don't know what the problem is with Nurk. I'd love for him to land in the spot. I like Nurk. Send Nurk to like Washington where they don't care about anything. How are we looking, Brenden? There you go. There you go. Brendan's feed wasn't podded up, chat, but he said, "How about Nurk to the Lakers just for fun?" Oh man. Oh. All right, we're gonna head off. Copy that. Here we're gonna head off chat. We'll be right back.
We knew that they were going to come in scrapping and fighting and not allow that to happen again. I mean, you got Hall of Famers on that team, so we prepared for a dogfight, and that's exactly what it was. We kept scrapping the entire night. So many people played well. I think this may have been DA's best game, all-around game, because he's had some really, really good ones since he's been in our uniform, but this may be in terms of his activity and just everything, all across the board. And to be able to close it out with the big free throws at the end was a really big thing. But so many people, man. Two hit some incredible, timely shots, threes that we needed. I thought Scoot was really good and didn't shoot well, but was huge in the game. So many people just played great, man. Jeremy had some really incredible defensive plays and some big rebounds. Again, we just continue to do it together.
Chauncey, DA started out really hot, and then I think he went 1 of 8 or 1 of 9 in between. You stayed with him, though, and the guys kind of kept feeding him, and he just, late in the game, he rewarded you. It's a little bit different than I think we've seen from him in the past. But what's been different with him with staying locked in for all 4 quarters?
Well, I mean, he's been leading. He's been the biggest voice on the team. In terms of whether he's in there or not, whether he's playing good or not, his leadership hasn't wavered at all. That's been a big thing for us. DA was just such a big deal. We went small because I thought they were really hurting us. We went small, and then boom, they kept switching, getting the matchup they liked. I went back with DA, and it was probably what won us the game because we were able to rebound. We were able to, they just couldn't take advantage of us, like they were doing at the time. So his leadership has been great. Obviously his energy every single night on both ends of the floor has been contagious for us.
Coach, do you believe the play-in is attainable, or do you just kind of keep a short focus, right, what's in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, I hear people talking about it. But for me, the way that I've always kind of been, I just keep my head down and keep looking for these short-term goals, just try to get better and better, and, we'll see what happens, when it's that time. But I don't even look to that. I just want to keep getting better and keep getting better.
Who is the MVP tonight for the Trailblazers? It's time for Game Balls.
All right, time now for a game ball. Man, who do we give it to tonight? I think you got to give it to DeAndre Ayton, right? I mean, 20 points, 20 boards, clutch free throws down the stretch. He ended 7 of 9 from the line. The only one he missed was that final one, which the Blazers got the rebound, so that was good. He ended with 20 rebounds, 9 offensive, 2 assists, a block shot, and 25 points. Absolutely killer game from DeAndre Ayton. Brenden also chimes in. He kind of wants to give a game ball to Devin Booker, the anti-game ball, but still a game ball to Devin Booker for missing that free throw shot. See?
I mean, just honestly, I almost got to give Travis Demers a shout out, man, for kind of coming at it with the broadcaster's curse a little bit, Chris, because he's like, Devin Booker, 11 of 11, 12 of 12. And, just as a fan, you just kind of accustomed, and especially Devin Booker, you accustom yourself thinking, he's going to make all 3 of these. And just the excitement when he missed that shot. I mean, he's one of the best scorers, man. He's out of 20 free throws, he's going to hit 19, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, hey, on the night he became, by the way, the leading scorer in Suns franchise history. Let's head out to the phone. My buddy Zach in Phoenix on line 1. Zach, did you make it to the game?
I actually did not.
Oh.
I did not make it to the game. I would have been heartbroken. So it turns out that I'm glad I didn't.
Well, I tried for your request that you sent me. I just couldn't come through. So I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
But I did have a question come up in the chat, and I said I'd ask you because you're a Suns fan. But someone said, "Are Suns fans regretting Nurkic for Kamara at this point?" I know there was more to the trade, but are you regretting it a little bit?
Yes, I mean I personally am. I was big on Kamara and big on Ayton, and that wasn't necessarily a popular opinion at the time, but it's starting to look more and more like a regrettable trade to say the least.
Hey, Ayton's really showing off that Tesla motor, though.
Yeah, that Tesla battery's fully charged, man. Dominating in full effect. It's sad to see it happen to my team, but yeah.
It absolutely is. So what are your Suns going to do down the stretch here with 2 days in the trade deadline? Are you gonna land Jimmy Butler? Are you gonna fix this thing? Because I watch this team, to be completely honest with you. I watch this team, and Nick Richards, right? I like the addition of him. He's a good young big. You see Devin Booker, you see Kevin Durant. You're like, this team has too many big names to come into Portland and lose 2 in a row. So how do they fix the ship there? They're only 1 game above 500 now.
Yeah, full sirens are going off in Phoenix, that's for sure. I mean, I think everyone wants to try to get Jimmy Butler, but honestly, the way that he's demanded the trade and the things that have starting to come out about him, I don't even know how I feel about dropping everything to get him. And then, Bradley Beal holds all the cards, so you can put a squash on that. I think that this team just needs to try to figure it out at the end of the day. If we can get Jimmy Butler, that'd be cool, but I mean, who's to say if it doesn't work out here, he might just demand a trade like he did in Miami,
Yeah, no, here's the thing. If you end up trading for Jimmy Butler, you better win within about a 4-year window, because that's about how long he can stay in one place before he starts asking out. So you got to prep for it. You got to prep for it. And you're a Suns fan, and if I recall correctly, maybe I'm wrong. So born and raised in Phoenix, is that right or no?
Yep, born and raised. Just moved to the Northwest about a year ago.
Okay, so your whole life you were down in Phoenix. So you've seen the greats and you've been a fan forever. How do you feel about tonight's record, watching Devin Booker become the all-time leading scorer in Suns franchise history?
It was amazing. It was amazing in the moment when it happened, and then just the way that the game ended with missing the free throw definitely put a cloud over it. But I got to tip the cap when I watch this Portland team. It kind of reminds me a little bit, if you think back 4 or 5 years ago, to the bubble Suns team. They were a young team, didn't have a lot of wins, kind of sparked towards the end of the season, barely squeaked into the bubble, and then went 8-0 in the bubble. Kind of surprised everyone. It was kind of a cool story. But then the next year traded for CP3 and then made it to the finals. So I don't know. It kind of seems eerily similar, and I think you guys are maybe just 1 or 2 pieces away from, really doing something. So it's exciting to watch.
Well, I hope so that you have a reason to convince the wife to get down here and catch another game occasionally. Okay.
Right. A big fan of the show, man. Your energy is contagious. So keep it up, man.
Hey, before you go, so what's because I might not hear from you again because the games against Phoenix are over until next year. But just in case, so when's if you mind sharing what's our due date? When do we get excited for Zach welcoming twins to the world?
Oh, thanks for asking, man. April 28th is the scheduled C-section. So with the twins, supposedly they say it comes sooner. So we're thinking mid to mid-April.
Okay. Do you know gender yet?
Boy, girl.
Boy, girl,
blessed.
twins.
Absolutely blessed.
Nice.
Boy, girl.
That's absolutely awesome.
One and done. We're done after
that. Well, hey, I have 3 beautiful girls at home, so you get the both worlds there. But I'm going to tell you what, Zach, I only know you through phone calls and meeting you once, but I think you're going to make a pretty damn good girl dad too. Okay, you're going to be awesome at this. If you need any pointers outside of basketball, hit me up. I got this dad thing on lock. All right.
My man, I'm definitely going to need the advice. We're freaking out over here. So,
hey, man. Hey, be well. I appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Likewise. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, to you too. That's Zach from Phoenix who moved to Seattle, who came down to Portland to watch the Blazers play the Thunder. And again, he is the personification of why you need to just come say hi to me, because now we're radio listener buds. And welcoming twins to the world? Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Get ready. I'll tell you what, Zach, you're going to have plenty of sleepless nights. But to all my parents in the chat who listen, they're all worth it. They're all absolutely awesome. I woke up this morning to my youngest, who's 2, walking up to me going, Dad? Dad? Baby? doll? Because she has her little doll. Do you want me to give the doll a hug? Yeah. Yeah, baby doll, hug. Oh, yes. Yeah, I will do whatever. Oh, what? You want me to do a backflip? Yeah, I don't think I can, but I'll try. Anything for you, babe. Anything for you. Tell you what, man. Parenthood's awesome, so I'm excited for you guys. All right, that's going to do it, though, for the fifth quarter. Not game day. Oh, boy. We get to do this all again in less than 24 hours, though, because tomorrow, Pacers. Right back here at Moda Center, another game on this beautiful homestand where the Blazers look to win 9 out of their last 10, extend this win streak. Ooh, can they do it? Can they extend it to a 5-gamer? That'd be absolutely beautiful. We'll see how the tired legs feel tomorrow, though, here. 7 o'clock tip, which means I will have game day for you at 5 o'clock. Chad, though, he'll be right here. He'll have the Rip City Drive for you from 3 to 5. So for those of you who miss your boy Chad doing, listen to him all day long. Download the iHeartRadio music app. It's right there. It's on your phone. Easy to get to. Listen to Blazers. Listen to the shows everywhere you go. Have some fun with it. All right, but once again, Blazers take care of business. Took overtime, took free basketball, but they sweep the Suns on a 2-game stand here. 121 to 119 for the boss man Chad doing. For super producer Brenden Slaughter back at the studio. I'm Chris Burkhardt. Rip City. I'll talk to you tomorrow.